So let's start our conversation by you defining um, value, standard value, and core competencies in a business.
Sure, let's start with those definitions. Standard value refers to the basic benefits or functions that a product or service provides, essentially meeting customer expectations. It's what makes a product or service functional and relevant in the market. Core competencies are the unique strengths and capabilities that give a business a competitive advantage. These are often difficult for competitors to replicate and form the foundation upon which a company builds its differentiation and long term success. Does that align with how you'd like to frame them?
Yeah, I think so. That's fairly well. Okay, so that's you need in business in general. You just need to identify these, meaning you have to be in business. You have to go talk to people. You have to sell your services or product, and you have to engage with them consistently over time in order to arrive at a leveraged value position and a second core, or to be able to identify the second core. And second core is what we talked about yesterday as core of the core or strength of the core competencies, which seemed a little clumsy or just wordy, cluttery. So I termed it the second core. And the second core, uh, whereas the leveraged value is quantitative, meaning it's how somebody would go about uh, arriving at exponential growth using certain strategies. Uh, the uh, the second core is qualitative, meaning it has to do with narrative. And because it has to do with narrative, I felt that uh, the best place to look for this was probably um, journalism, since narrative and the second core have to do with finding the story or identifying the story within the core competencies that would help to differentiate how we deliver our product or service or influence it in some radical way. I thought the frameworks should be sought out in journalism. I feel like they're they're kind of the mindset of finding the story, which parallels us in the business world of finding our story, our unique signature that could differentiate us even beyond the core competencies into what we call the second core. So just the spirit of the in spirit of journalism, I wanted to read a few lines of a book that I was researching in, and so in this spirit. So I'm just going to read a couple sentences here. This is identifying potential feature material. What makes a great feature article idea? An idea that gets published. Just about everything around you is possible feature material. Use your senses, look around, absorb, notice, listen, look. Your job is to take these undeveloped ideas and churn them into something interesting for readers. People can be the source and subject of some of the best story ideas. Often a powerful story about a successful person's problem helps readers to see the real side of that individual. And so it's this spirit of finding the story. It's the spirit of being observant of your environment. Notice, listen, look, um, as, as the uh, as the author here puts. So speak to that. Speak about this search of finding our story in the core competencies.
Certainly. Finding our story within core competencies is akin to uncovering the unique essence that differentiates us from others. It starts with keen observation, listening to customer feedback, observing market trends, and being receptive to the subtle cues that highlight what truly resonates with people. This process is about transforming raw, often unrefined insights into a compelling narrative that not only tells our brand story, but also deeply connects with our audience. It's about identifying those moments or attributes that are uniquely ours and using them to craft a narrative that stands out. In essence, this journey is about being attentive and proactive in recognizing the elements that not only define us, but also have the potential to create a meaningful impact.
Wonderful. So let's get in the weeds here. I want you to tell me a story that represents this sort of searching and finding the narrative within a business scenario. Walk me through a life of a business owner who has who understands their standard value, who is functioning through their core competencies, but potentially wants more and begins their search for the story. So you go ahead and tell me that story.
Of course. Let's imagine a business owner named Alex who runs a small coffee shop. Finding the story. Alex's journey. Alex's coffee shop thrives on standard value, quality coffee, a cozy atmosphere, and friendly service. These elements are the backbone of the business's core competencies, creating a welcoming space where customers can enjoy their favorite drinks. However, Alex starts feeling a pull for something more impactful, something that could elevate the business. Phase 1. The Awakening. One day, Alex notices a regular customer, Sarah, working diligently on her laptop, surrounded by notebooks and books. Intrigued, Alex strikes up a conversation and learns that Sarah is a freelance writer who finds inspiration in the shop's ambiance. This sparks an idea. What if the coffee shop could become a creative hub for writers and artists? Alex seeks the story. Alex starts to delve into this idea, engaging more with customers to understand their needs and desires. Through these conversations, Alex discovers a pattern. Many patrons are creatives looking for a space that fosters inspiration and community. This realization marks the beginning of finding the business's second core, a narrative that goes beyond coffee and service, creating a space that nurtures creativity. Phase 3. Crafting the narrative. Alex decides to transform the coffee shop into a haven for creatives. The shop hosts writing workshops, open mic nights, and art exhibitions, creating a vibrant community. This new narrative not only differentiates the coffee shop, but also attracts a loyal customer base that values this unique environment. Phase 4. Embracing the impact. As the coffee shop evolves, Alex notices an increase in foot traffic, positive word of mouth, and a stronger connection with the community. The business has found its leveraged value by embracing a narrative that deeply resonates with its customers, offering something far beyond just coffee. In this journey, Alex illustrates how understanding standard value and core competencies is crucial, but it's the search for a deeper narrative, the second core, that unlocks true potential and growth.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so, in order to arrive here, um, we should offer a framework that or frameworks. I found a couple, and these are these are very in depth. So we certainly can't cover them in this single episode. But at the very least, we can kind of head that direction, and then we'll see where the conversation takes us in the future. So, a framework that has been offered uh, is found in the same book. Um, Let me try to give a little context here. So, I'm going to read a few lines and then I'll get into the framework. And then you and I can kind of quickly translate it into the search for a narrative to provide us that differentiating point in business. So, okay, I'm going to read now. You also need to know the basic characteristics of the feature ideas. What are they? Traditionally, good feature ideas have 8 basic elements, according to um, Clay Schoenfield and Karen uh, Degmuller. These elements are as follows. So when we're looking for the story, which in here they call the featured story, then it should contain these 8 elements, and we'll see how these translate into our search for a narrative within our core competencies. So, okay, the first number one, appeal to people. The story must meet a need of the reader. Um, so let's translate that first principle in this scenario and bring it to life by building a story out of it. Go ahead.
Absolutely. In a business context, the principle of appeal to people means that the narrative must resonate with the audience's needs and desires. Let's illustrate this through a story. The transformation of Green Haven. Phase 1. Recognizing a need. Jane owns a small plant nursery called Green Haven. Initially, her business focused on selling high quality plants, appealing to local garden enthusiasts. This is her standard value. However, Jane notices a shift. More customers are asking for advice on plant care, landscaping ideas, and sustainable gardening. Phase 2. Engaging with the audience. Jane starts to engage more deeply with her customers. She listens to their stories, understands their struggles with urban gardening, and recognizes a common theme. People want to bring greenery into their homes, but often lack the knowledge or time to care for plants. Phase 3. Crafting the story. Seeing this need, Jane decides to pivot. She starts offering workshops, personalized plant care guides, and subscription services for plant maintenance. This shift in focus transforms her business narrative from just selling plants to nurturing a community of urban gardeners. Phase 4. Embracing the second core. Jane's new narrative resonates deeply with her customers. They are not just buying plants, they are becoming part of a story where they learn, grow, and connect with like minded individuals. This differentiation, rooted in appealing to the needs of her customers, becomes the nursery's second core, setting Greenhaven apart in a crowded market. Through this story, Jane illustrates how appealing to people's needs and listening can help uncover a narrative that adds depth and differentiation to her business.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's a good principle there. Um, the next one is facts. A feature that works will contain certain information or facts about that subject that will be beneficial to readers in some way. So facts. So in this sense, it's really understanding uh, the market demand. I feel like it's the narrative in context to facts. So although uh, we find that this appeals to people, it shouldn't live in a vacuum, but we should understand it and allow the facts to provide it context. And I think that will also work to deepen the contextual appeal of the narrative and help to inform it so it has depth. Would you mind speaking to this?
Absolutely. Facts provide the solid foundation upon which a compelling narrative is built. They offer context, credibility, and depth to the story, ensuring that it's not just appealing, but also grounded in reality. In Jane's case, as she recognized the needs of her customers, she also gathered data on urban gardening trends, customer preferences, and successful community building practices. This factual grounding helped her craft a more authentic and compelling narrative. In business, understanding market demand, customer behavior, and industry trends are crucial facts that enrich your narrative. They ensure that your story isn't just a creative concept, but a well informed, strategic move that appeals to your audience's real needs. This not only enhances the narrative's appeal, but also builds trust and relatability with your customers.
Wonderful. So again, this is a framework that I would ask you, not you specifically, but whoever's listening to this, to go through to identify your narrative. And this is a tool that I'm also going to use for my businesses and unit executives. So after facts, number three is personalities. Facts are enhanced with personality. A story that can offer some unusual person or personality with facts and appeal will be much stronger. And so I feel like this is not just it's giving the story a sort of flavor. It's giving the story a sort of brand. It's preparing it. Where facts might feed into the context of the story. um, personality and looking at this really talks about how the story shows up in the world or how it's represented in the world. Would you mind speaking to that, please?
Absolutely. Personality infuses a story with uniqueness and character, making it memorable and engaging. It's about showcasing the distinctive traits that make your narrative stand out. In Jane's case, the personality could come from her own passion for gardening, the quirky and welcoming atmosphere of her shop, or the inspiring stories of her customers who've transformed their urban spaces into green havens. In business, adding personality means highlighting the human elements, stories of customers, the passion behind the brand, or the unique approach to solving problems. This makes the narrative relatable and helps build an emotional connection with the audience. It's this unique flavor that can turn a simple business into a beloved brand. So, personality not only represents how the story is told, but also how it resonates in the world, giving it a distinctive and lasting impression.
Wonderful. And then the fourth in this framework is angle. The right slant or theme makes the subject tie together better. Um, I know that's important in this. I just can't um, wrap my head around it. Would you mind speaking to that in this context?
Certainly. Angle refers to the unique perspective or theme that ties the entire narrative together, giving it a coherent and compelling focus. In Jane's business, the angle could be sustainability, urban greening, or community building. This angle shapes how the story is presented and helps it stand out. In a business narrative, choosing the right angle means finding a perspective that resonates deeply with the target audience. This could be a focus on innovation, customer experience, or social impact. The right angle not only differentiates the narrative, but also ties all elements facts, personality, and appeal into a cohesive story. Angle gives the narrative direction and purpose, ensuring that every part of the story aligns with the overarching theme, making it more impactful and engaging.
Wonderful. And then six is action. It says, can you make the story come alive? It will if you have some activity in the story. It is relatively simple. People should do something in your story. Interesting. So I'm thinking um, playing a part in the story versus just be receptive of the story, but to actually play a part. So, how do you see that taking place in a business given this context of the second core?
Action in a business narrative means actively involving the audience, creating a dynamic and engaging experience. It's about making the audience feel like participants rather than just observers. In Jane's case, action could be encouraging customers to participate in workshops, plant care sessions, or community events. By doing so, she transforms them from passive customers into active participants in the story of Green Haven. In a broader business context, action could mean engaging customers in co creating products, participating in feedback loops, or being part of brand initiatives. It's about creating opportunities for interaction and contribution, making the narrative come alive, and fostering a sense of community and ownership.
Wonderful. And then six is uniqueness and universality. The topic should be different and should have broad appeal at the same time.
Uniqueness and universality means balancing a distinctive angle with broad relevance. In Jane's case, her focus on creating a community for urban gardeners is unique, but the desire for a supportive, green space has universal appeal. In business, this means identifying a unique story that also resonates on a broader level, addressing common needs or aspirations. This balance helps create a narrative that stands out while also being widely relatable, fostering a connection with a diverse audience. It ensures the story is both memorable and widely appreciated.
And then the seventh is significance, timeless, proximity, prominence, and relevance. Create significance in a story. Oh, that's interesting. Please enrich us with your commentary on that.
Significance involves creating a narrative that has lasting impact and relevance. It's about telling a story that is not only timely, but also timeless, resonating deeply with the audience. In Jane's case, her focus on sustainability and community building gives her business a significance that goes beyond immediate trends, addressing broader themes of environmental consciousness and community. In business, significance is achieved by aligning the narrative with values and issues that have enduring importance. This creates a connection that not only attracts, but also retains customers as they see the brand as part of a larger, meaningful movement. It ensures that the story has depth and resonance, making it impactful and enduring.
Wonderful. In proximity, would you suppose in this context it has to do with uh, geography or the location in which the story or the narrative is being found and told or retold, excuse me.
Proximity in this context likely refers to relevance and connection to the audience. It can mean geographical closeness, especially for local businesses like Jane's, but it can also refer to cultural or emotional closeness. For instance, Jane's focus on urban gardening might resonate strongly with city dwellers who face similar challenges, creating a sense of immediate relevance and connection. In a broader sense, proximity is about ensuring the narrative feels close and relevant to the audience's own experiences and environment, making the story more engaging and relatable.
Wow, okay. And then the eighth is energy increment. The story should stir your readers just as the idea stirred you to write the story. You should show your enthusiasm and sincerity. Go ahead and comment on that.
Energy increment means infusing the narrative with the passion and enthusiasm that originally inspired it. It's about conveying the excitement and drive behind the story, making it infectious and engaging for the audience. In Jane's case, this could be her palpable excitement for urban greening and community building, which resonates with her customers and encourages them to get involved. In a business narrative, energy is crucial for creating an emotional connection and inspiring action. It's about showing your genuine commitment and excitement, which can motivate and stir your audience, encouraging them to believe in and support your vision.
Now what I'm gonna do is I want you to pick an entirely different business and industry and present in a story form a story in which the business owner moves from core competencies to the second core, but he or she goes through these steps, these 8 steps. Highlight these steps so that we know uh, where these steps will take place and how to translate them in our own experiences. Please go ahead.
Sure, let's take the example of a small boutique fitness studio called Fit Fusion. This story, the evolution of Fit Fusion. Phase 1, standard value and core competencies. Fit Fusion starts as a neighborhood fitness studio focusing on personalized training and group classes. Their core competency is offering a welcoming environment and high quality training. They appeal to locals seeking a friendly, supportive place to work out. Phase 2, recognizing a need, appeal to people. The owner, Lisa, notices that many members are busy professionals struggling to balance fitness with their hectic lives. She sees an opportunity to offer more than just workouts. Phase 3, understanding the market, facts. She researches and finds that there's a growing trend in holistic wellness and mental health. People are looking for fitness solutions that also address stress management and overall well being. Phase 4, crafting the narrative, personality. Lisa decides to infuse her own passion for mindfulness and well being into the business. She starts offering classes that combine fitness with mindfulness practices like yoga and meditation. Phase 5, choosing the right angle. She frames Fit Fusion as a sanctuary for busy professionals to not only get fit, but also find balance and mental clarity. This becomes the new angle that ties the entire narrative together. Phase 6, engaging the community, action. She introduces community events, wellness workshops, and collaborations with local mental health experts. Customers are now part of a bigger journey, actively participating in Fit Fusion's evolving story. Phase 7, building uniqueness and universality. The studio's unique focus on holistic wellness becomes its signature, while the universal appeal of stress relief and mental well being draws a broader audience. Phase 8, creating significance. Fit Fusion becomes more than just a gym, it's a vital part of the community, helping people lead healthier, balanced lives. This significance is felt deeply by her customers. Through these steps, Fit Fusion evolves from a standard fitness studio to a holistic wellness hub, embodying the journey from core competencies to discovering the second core.
I appreciate that. And then with that, we will sign off. Thank you very much.